welcome to my channel. My name is Brent. I'm a voice actor. A lot of you know me for the part of Zane on a show called Ninjago. And on my channel, I interview a lot of my castmates with your questions. A couple videos back, though, I did a contest for people to interview me with their own questions. What you're about to see are the 4 people that won the contest. They're super cool people. It was super cool to meet them, and we had a long conversation, but what you're about to see is the edited down what I'm putting on the internet. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Okay. Where are you located?
I'm in my house.
No. No, I mean, like, where you live. What's your natural hair color?
It's like dark brown, this top color.
Cool. Did you have it like blonde, all blonde at one point, and then you just grew it? Like, how did you do that?
No, I only dyed like the bottom half of it, like all around the back. I don't know. It's just a thing the kids are doing these days.
Is that a thing? That's a thing?
Yeah.
Hey, Sam's in. Sam, I can't see you, man.
Oh, I think I'm having Wi-Fi issues.
Hey, how's it going? Henry, what's up, man?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Is that beard real or is that painted on?
Yeah. I just started growing it. I'm from New York.
Sweet. I was just in your town, man.
Cool.
I just checked out your vlog too right before I was doing the interview.
Hey, look at that.
Yo.
Nice. Now we got a face. Love it. Aaron, a master of minifigs. Okay, let's prove that, Aaron. Okay. Let's make sure we better see his minifig action.
Yo.
Prove that one.
Wait, okay, hold on. I just got to. Okay, I'm totally freaking out and
give us a video, man. I don't want to look at Aaron / master.
Okay.
What are you, master? Hey, there we go.
There we go. So here is obviously, I got a lot of Zane's.
I don't know that. I don't know that
the
character.
original.
It's
you have anybody cooler?
It's the original. I think this might.
No, I don't know that guy either. Do you have a Master Wu? I like Master Wu. What makes you the master of minifigs? To be so bold in your name tag that you are the master. Like, why are you master?
I have almost every single Lego Ninjago minifigure, if that counts.
Okay,
almost.
So that makes you master. Well, hey guys, this is really cool. Sorry this is taking so long to get you guys and me together, but let's get into your questions.
There's some things that people don't tell you about voice acting, because I want to get into like acting and kind of like that, because I'm a fine arts person. I love like all that kind of stuff, but I don't know exactly what I want to do.
Right.
So I'm just kind of want to see some more like kind of what is it about that people don't really know, or that what's the best path to take to kind of get into it and stuff.
Okay, take Brent Miller's voiceover Zoom class. That's number 1. Number 2, shameless plug. No, seriously. You need training. It's voice acting is a lot of voice acting. It's not putting on voice. What people don't know is nowadays you can't survive just on the glorious parts, like the animation end of things. Everybody wants to be an animation superstar. You all want to be in hit cartoons and all that, but you can't survive off of that. You need to be completely diversified now. You need to do like explainer videos, commercials, promos, documentaries. Like there's lots of different types of voice, to be honest with you. And you also need a pretty decent enough home setup these days. But what they might not know is you can do it at home. Like I did a commercial this morning from here, and tomorrow I'll be in Vancouver actually recording a cartoon tomorrow. I'll be in town the next day, and then I'll also be doing something here that next day. So it's like you're bouncing around. So you have to invest in something at home. You have to be willing to do way more than just animation, and you have to have some sort of acting training.
Am I allowed to talk about the first 12 episodes of Crystallized?
They've aired, so go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Thank you for making sure, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure because I know it's all new and stuff, and it's also really good. So which do you prefer? Monotone Zane, where he's just completely emotionless, or I guess another example would be a very personality like Zane. And was it really hard as well?
I hated being emotionless. It was so flipping hard because I worked so hard from the pilot episodes or the pre-season 1 episode. I know there's a lot of arguments on what everything's called, But those little episodes we did pre-season 1, they wanted more flat reads. So Zane would have been more like, I'm not so sure. Whereas now I might be like, I'm not so sure. Like the difference right there. So I've worked so hard to sneak more personality in. And so when we got to this and they're like, no, we want it like really, really flat. I'm like, oh no, it was so boring and hard because you have to like convey. I honestly, I haven't seen it, so I don't know how it turned out, but you have to convey the line how it's supposed to be with having just a hint of it, but not that much emotion. So when we finally got to be Zane again, oh yeah, it was, I don't know what it was like on the show, but I was really happy when I read in the script that I get to be normal person again, normal Zane. Yeah.
It was, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was really, I thought it was funny. Like it was a good transition from like after Mia's disappearance and stuff.
You know, the funny thing is though, I saw a clip somehow before anybody knew what I was doing. Somebody posted some clip somewhere saying like, yo, like what's with Zane having like no emotion? It was kind of like, seemed like it was knocking my acting, that I just had given up or something. And I'm like, dude, I want to internet slap you.
So I wanted to know, what's the biggest difference that you've noticed between voicing in Will Film's iteration of Ninjago versus Wild Brain's era?
First of all, the format changed from 22 to 11 really changed the story. It's nothing to do with the animation companies. It's to do with the writing. I'd be like, Zane wouldn't say that, or Zane wouldn't do that. And you know, it's you have to like, well, we're doing a new thing of Zane. We're not having to stay to the old, if that makes sense.
How do you feel like you've been like voice acting on Ninjago for over a decade now?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
Extremely proud. The truth is, not a lot of people know who Brent Miller is, but the world knows, a lot of the world knows who my character is, or at least they've seen that Ninja Lego show or something. It's so popular. So to be on such a massive show like that, it's like in voice acting, I don't know if I could do better. I really don't. Like, I would love to be Batman and like some really cool iconic characters like that, but to be the first of a character is something special, where you are giving it the original voice. And yeah, man, I'm very proud, and nobody can take it from me.
Is there anything like remarkably different about your like job in Ninjago and voice acting in Ninjago? I assume it's like the most popular one and like the longest running. Is there anything else that you would say like is different about it?
Sorry, I'm a little bit. So is there anything that's different about my life because of Ninjago?
Well, about kind of like your job doing Ninjago versus like any other jobs you've done in voice acting.
Okay. Ninjago feels like it's it feels like you're riding a bike over and over and over again, going on, but you take a different trail with that really cool bike. So every time you get to do it, you're going on a bike ride that you know the bike really well, but you're exploring a new trail, a new adventure. And so it's, when you do another show or commercial or whatever, you're getting on a brand new bike, trying a new trail. So you got that like, well, is this bike going to be a bit shaky, or is it going to be great? But once you get into a production like Ninjago, and it's been going for so long, like I know that character so well that like I don't need to ask for a voice reference. You know, like I'm doing a session this week where I did a character, and I'm going to have to ask them what I do again. And then they're going to play me what I did. And then I'm going to be able to hear and mimic and copy it. Right. But with Zane, it's like, just put the microphone on and I go, I think I got this down. You know, like it's second nature by now. Right. Henry, we lost you for a second, man. I almost had a heart attack.
Feeling like you feel like really connected to Zane more than like kind of any other character you've done, I assume, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, your whole channel is like centered around Ninjago, I guess. So like, there you go.
Yeah. You know, and honestly, like I don't really want my YouTube channel to be all about Ninjago, but that's what people actually watch. It's so frustrating because I'll tell you right now, my best video of recently was with a kid in our family, and named Deacon. I did a build video with him, a 2-parter. That kid was so hilarious. Like he just did me in. Like he was the star of that whole video. And yet it has like some of the lowest views I've ever gotten. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So you just do, so I at the end of the day, I do videos that please
Right.
me. And if I like my videos, then hopefully other people will. And I'm not trying to get YouTube famous, so it doesn't really matter for me. It's just a way that I can put some stuff out and meet some really cool people.
Okay, a lot of people on the internet like to hate on, like, let's say if it's like an awful movie and like they go straight to the voice actor, which is obviously not their fault. It's the writer's fault and stuff. But I guess, how do you, I guess, react to like if the movie is like ever really bad?
Yeah, so I don't necessarily think it's always about the writing. Like it's also about the direction, it's about the set, everything that's done. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't really care. I just do my job. I hope that my job was good to the people that hired me. Whether the fans like something or not, I have no control over. What the animation looks like, I have no control over. What the direction and the producing of that episode looks like, I have no control over. The only thing I have control over is my performance.
Do you ever look at like a Lego set which has Zane in it and think, hey, that's me?
A little bit cooler for me was Hot Shot. I got to voice Hot Shot in Transformers, Armada and Energon. And I remember going to a Toys R Us and getting my Transformer. And for me, that was like my childhood. So when I got to see me as a Transformer, that was a bigger deal to me at that moment in my career than Zane was, because it was so cool to be a Transformer. But as Zane got more and more popular, it becomes so weird because you're in so many toy sets that it becomes almost like it's not a big deal anymore, you know. But I've got some really cool Zane toys, and I love having a little Zane stand with my stuff. And it's a good reminder, like how I've been blessed to be able to voice such a character. Like it's changed my life in a lot of good ways, because people wouldn't care who I am if I went on the internet and talked about other things I've done. You know, I'd have a little audience, but people really love Ninjago, and I love that I love that it's helped a lot of people through a lot of dark times. I hear that a lot, that it's like guided people, a lot of people that had maybe bad father figures. I get a lot of that sort of thing where like they learn a lot of good life lessons from Ninjago. Like to be on a show that's action based and it's comedy and you're a ninja, I mean, and you're one of the main ones, it's been a dream. It's been a dream. Yeah, really cool.
If you had to rank I know this is a tough one. It's like picking your favorite child, but if you had to rank your top 3 favorite seasons of Ninjago, how would you do it?
Okay, season 1, but not because the animation was the best or anything, because it wasn't, right? Like it got better, the budgets went up. Season 1 for my own personal nostalgia reasons, like just to be in that room with these amazing friends. Vincent was the only guy I didn't know. Like he was new to the game. And everybody else in that room, like I'd known these people. And when you see the cast, like, hey, and you're high-fiving and you're hugging people and you're getting to work with them. Like I knew Kirby for a lot of years before, like all those guys I knew actually. So it was really, it's like the start of something special. It's like when you start going out with somebody and you got the butterflies and then it starts to go good. It's like that. And then it just gets better and better and better. That's what it's like. And, season 8, because the Hageman, the writing coming back was amazing. And I think for the fans, I think this season, what do you call it, 16, the crystallized, whatever crystallized part 1 and 2 will be in part of my top 3. Yeah. No, I haven't seen the first part, but I do know some stuff that's coming. And like, yeah, it was so cool to read the scripts and see old villains that are some of my favorites come back. That's happened, right? That did happen in the first part, right? Like I didn't.
Did.
Okay.
Yep.
I would love to tell people some stuff, but I can't say anything. Like people don't understand. You guys should see my DMs. Like It's nonstop. Like, can you spoil this? Can you spoil? It's so frustrating for me because I'm like, how many YouTube videos do I have to say? I can't do spoilers, and yet I still. You guys see? I don't know if you follow Tommy Andreas.
Yeah, it's all over Twitter.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's harassed nonstop.
Yeah.
You are confused at how it works. I did a video a couple years ago where I have like an airplane with a little Lego guy, and I explain how it works with broadcasters and stuff. And I'll do it real quick in the 30-second version. It's right here. Lego sells the show to a broadcaster. The broadcasters are all over the world. When that broadcaster chooses to air that show is on them. But people don't understand that. They think that Lego is being so mean and blah, blah, blah. It's they sold it. The broadcaster chooses when they air it. So it's really a broadcaster question that fans should go to, not people like Tommy. He's just doing his job. And then I'm like, I'm just a voice actor.
Do you think Pixel should get a human form? And if so, what would it look like?
Whoa.
No, because I'm a original guy. Like, I like nostalgia. I like original actors and things. I like what people create originally. And Pixel never was in a human form, whereas Zane was and then switched. So I had a choice what I like. Yeah, but Pixel, as where she is right now, she mixes better with titanium Zane. And it would feel like she would be trying to be too much like let's say Zane gets to transform back to human type Zane, and then she transforms to him to be more like him. That's kind of opposite of what I would like in the world. I want you to be original who you are. And if she's trying to be like him, that seems like, I don't know, she's sacrificing her own self for that. So no, I think Pixel's just great just the way she is.
I know like you're kind of involved in the fandom and kind of their opinions on things like slightly. Like, what is one of like, I don't know, this is like a super broad question, but it's like a strange or funny thing you've kind of seen that the fandom created or something?
Most coolest thing I saw was a Comic-Con when people were meeting us in costume. And there was this one girl who was dressed as the Overlord. And it's on my YouTube channel. There's a little clip of her on my YouTube channel. I don't know if she did it like cardboard boxes, but this thing was like straight out. And I went like, okay, the Overlord. It's not like you're coming in as one of the ninja or something. Like, you've taken it to Overlord level. And so for me, only Ninjago fans would know what that is. This Overlord walking around Comic-Con, everybody else would be like, what is that? Right. But that's something not crazy, but just something really unique and creative that's sparked out of this. So yeah, I would say probably for me, just seeing what people like dressed up as. And I've seen some crazy Zane costumes, like people dressing up cosplaying as Zane. And I've seen some really creative, cool stuff on Instagram. I get tagged on a lot of it, so I see some really cool stuff people do with their hair, and yeah, it's sick. That's kind of really cool for me. That's just been like the cosplay end of it has been really neat. Yeah,
that's cool. Are you going into any upcoming Comic-Cons?
I would like to go to cons and be a guest, but I've got to be invited. So if you have a con in your area, just say, hey, reach out to Brent and maybe I'll come. But you know, the thing is, and I'll vlog it too. That would be really fun. But yeah, no, I would love to. And maybe this next year I'll start doing more of that. Hopefully. And why hasn't there been a Ninjago or a Lego con? Is that like, why? Like, seriously.
Right.
They have like a live stream thing, but that's
that's just virtual.
I am shocked that nobody said, let's put on or like a Lego con where you get like voice actors from different Lego shows, like Star Wars, and you bring them all together and people will go nuts.
What is the funniest thing that has ever happened, like in recording booth? It could be for Ninjago or non-Ninjago, like funniest thing that's ever happened.
There's a lot. I mentioned this before on my channel, but Michael Dobson,
or one of, I guess. Yeah,
it always goes back to the fake fart that Michael Dobson did. When Garmadon was up, Mark Oliver was up doing a monologue on the microphone as Garmadon. This is like back in early Pythor days. We had a room full of like maybe 12 people, And Michael Dobson, who plays Pythor, was sitting down on his chair, and Mark's like giving this big delivery, and then all of a sudden Mike goes at the end of it, and it just, the way it was just done so like perfect timing that the room just erupted in laughter, like people were dying. And it's weird to think, like, farts are always funny. Like, old people are laughing at farts, young people are laughing at farts. So it's like whenever something happens like that, it's just everybody just dies. So yeah, it was just really funny because he did it with Mark, and Mark was just doing this really theatrical moment, and then Mike just comes in with this perfect trumpet fart. I think that was probably one of the funniest. Like, honestly, like, I was just dying. But there's so many where I'm like holding my, like Vincent, he tries to get me to laugh, cry right before I have to act. And of course I play the character that's saying a bunch, like a paragraph of technical stuff, but Vincent will always do something funny, like every session right before, like to distract me. And I'm like, oh man. And by the way, that's just, my stool is really squeaking. I'm not actually trumpet farting myself. Yeah, I've got a really squeaky stool.
What is, I guess, your favorite villain, like show wise and I guess voice acting wise?
That's hard. I mean, I love Garmadon for nostalgic reasons. I love original villains. I love like Darth Vader type stuff. Like, I love that. I think Harumi is an incredible, complex villain. I think Britt does an incredible job voicing her, and I love Pythor just for the comedic elements that Pythor brings. I love the British in there, and I also like Moro. Moro is really I like characters that are screwed up and then have some, like, there's a chance for them to get good, and then but they're still pulled back into darkness. And honestly, there's been so many villains that, like, everybody's been so good on the show, but I'm always like, I remember the earlier stuff more. So I remember like the Garmadon, the Pythor, the Harumi, like the earlier Ninjago stuff. I remember a little more for villains. So I'm not going to single out one. I'll just give some of those as honorable mentions, as some that I've really enjoyed. Their performance, like, I mean, come on, like the Overlord, like Scott was incredible as the voice of Overlord, right? Like, there's just been so many. But as far as like, yeah, you know what a question would be? Who would I have wanted to voice? That would be a question. Yeah, like I actually would like, I would have liked to have a go at Overlord. That would have been a fun one. Yeah, Overlord. I would have liked to have killed myself.
Can we hear a sample
in
right
cartoons?
now?
In cartoons.
Do a sample right now. Do it.
No, I shall not, because then it'll just seem like a cheap Scott knockoff.
You did it in his interview, the role reversal. That interview is one of my favorites with Scott. That was jokes everywhere. Like, that was hilarious.
Scott is like, he's OG, man. He's been in so many shows, and he is such a good voice actor. And Scott has this reputation of like taking a short line and making it this long. Like, he's like so good at milking a line. Guys would be like, are you sure you want to do that? Scott would be like, are you sure you want to do that? He'd do like this big thing. He's like, he's just so good at it. Yeah. But yeah, he's an all-star in voiceover. He really.
Whether you realize it or not, you just gave us your Overlord sample.
No, that was not an Overlord.
Go.
That was not Overlord.
Overlord Nauticon.
I'm trying to remember. Nauticon. That was a good one too.
If you were in the Ninjago movie, I know like the Ninjago movie is like completely different from the actual show and everything. And let's say like you were to voice Zane, what kind of style would you give the voice for the movie? Like, what kind of?
I've never seen the movie.
Your reaction when they told you season 3 was gonna make a comeback, that Ninjago wasn't ending? Like, do you remember where you were thinking when you got that news?
No, because I always thought it was gonna keep going. It was so sick, and I like ninjas. I like Lego. I thought it was really well written. I thought this is gonna have some legs. It's gonna go somewhere. But the question you might want to ask me is, did I think I was going to come back when I died? And the answer is, I didn't know. I thought I was dead. Like, I was hoping that maybe I would come back in some form, but literally I got the script for that and was like, oh crap, I'm dying. Because, you know,
They didn't tell you were coming back?
no. I did my death scene in 2 takes. I remember it was in 2 takes, and I don't know which they used, scene 1 or take 1 or 2. And I was doing that scene like it was my last chance to voice Zane, and that these guys are going to go off for more seasons and a great adventures together. And well, at least it was cool that I got to have a few seasons out of it. That's kind of how I looked at it. That one, I do remember exactly how I felt, because like, then I felt like, crap. Thank you for liking my YouTube channel. Thank you for being a part of my interview where you interview me. It's been so cool to meet you guys. And yeah, like this if you liked it, notify yourself if you notify things, and subscribe if you're not subscribed, right guys? Help me out.
Right. Subscribe to Brent Miller.
Subscribe to Brent Miller. Follow him on
comment.
all social medias.
Nice to meet you guys. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah.
And thank you
Nice to
for
meet you.
allowing me to put this on my channel. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great.
Thanks for having us.